before Roddy Ricch knew he even wanted to rap.
At first it wasn't clear to me, like, all right, the music itself is just what I'm gonna do. Right. You feel me? I was just like, I'm gonna do something, because this ain't cutting it. I just knew that wasn't cutting it.
Before Roddy Ricch would have hits such as The Box, Die Young, and Rich Forever, as well as features on tracks such as Ballin' and Rockstar, with the latter recently peaking at #1 on the charts.
I know that I haven't always been a nice person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I really just try to always, you know, just be positive about everything and know that, like, you know, I do good by people and I have a good heart, you know, so I should be fine.
Before Roddy Ricch would get the cosign from the likes of the late Nipsey Hussle and Meek Mill.
I mean, our relationship was before I was big. When Meek was in jail, Nipsey was like really with me, a heavy, like super heavy. Like, I just remember that time was like when they was both just really like in my life, like super, like a lot. You feel me? I talk to me like all the time.
Before Roddy Ricch would have over 4 million YouTube subscribers with over 1.4 billion views, 1.7 million followers on Twitter, and 6 million on Instagram. Roddy Ricch has been able to make a name for himself from a very young age, very early on in the rap game, with cosigns from the likes of Nipsey Hussle and Meek Mill, and a lyrical style that really connects with his audience. It's clear Roddy was going to make it big. But unfortunately, some time spent in the county jail and a tough childhood would lead to some roadblocks getting in the way of his success. In fact, it seems jail was actually a blessing in disguise for Roddy, who credits his time spent in county as a big reason why he started taking rap more seriously. But there's a lot more to the story than just a few trips to the county jail, and we gotta tell you all about it right here on Before They're Famous. What's going on, guys? I'm your host for this one, Jared Bronstein, and today we're documenting the life and come up of the one and only Roddy Ricch prior to fame. As always, let us know who we should cover next in the comments down below, but for now, let's roll right into it.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
Roderick Wayne Moore Jr. was born on October 22nd, 1998 in Compton, California. Although not much is known about his childhood, it's believed he grew up in a fairly religious Christian home and was baptized at the age of 7. By 8 years old, Roddy was already showing interest in music, rapping in his spare time, but not putting too much weight into it. He's also got a younger brother and seemed to spend most of his youth being raised by his mother. Roddy's grandmother, originally from Louisiana, would grow up down the street from him, which led to Roddy experiencing the life of a southerner on the West Coast. Of course, this has become a leading factor in what makes Roddy stand out from his competition. It seems he's got roots all over. Telling Fader magazine in an interview, I quote, "My great-grandma is still alive. She's from Louisiana, so I spent time there. I got family in Atlanta, Mississippi, New York, all over the place." Between 8th and 10th grade, Roddy would go to therapy for what he described as anger and antisocial behavior. It used to be like Michael Jordan in high school, no cap point guard. I was more like an Allen Iverson type of person, I ain't gonna lie. Jordan was a dunking type of person, I was more like that cross you up, breaking his ankles type situation. However, it seems he would transfer to Westchester High at some point, and it seems this school has been home to some other notable stars. Roddy claims he did well in school until about 8th grade. It's not that he wasn't smart, he just didn't care much to go to class and wanted to do his own thing. By 11th grade, or just 16 years old, Roddy was fully embedded in the street life. This is also the time he started rapping again, telling XXL, I quote, "I bought some equipment and then I started recording real heavy in my room when I was like 16. Roddy's sound was like no other, with influences from different types of rappers, including Future, Young Thug, Chief Keef, Lil Wayne, and Meek Mill. There was also the time he went to church with his mother and met a young Kendrick Lamar, who just so happened to go to the same church. Yet it seems his biggest influence would be the late Speaker Knockers, who Roddy actually had the chance to meet. Some sources claim the meeting between the two actually led to Roddy purchasing his recording equipment. However, in an interview with Stage Cheese TV, Roddy explains how he was not only running around with the Crips, but was actually kicked out of his house by his own mother around this time as well. Roddy would spend some time in Atlanta at 17 and not focusing much on the music, but more so securing the bag. He told Passion Weiss in an interview, I quote, "I was 17 in Atlanta, just moving around and had 150 on me, on some other Now I looked up the definition of 150 on Urban Dictionary, and apparently it means going crazy. Maybe he meant he had 150 grand on him. Unfortunately for Roddy, things would go from bad to worse when he had a few run-ins with the law. At just 18 years old, Roddy had destroyed his car, was facing a potential gun charge, and spent a week in county jail waiting to get bailed out. This seemed to be the turning point for Roddy, who came to terms with the fact that if he wanted to really enjoy his life, he couldn't do it locked up. Telling Rolling Stone, I quote, "When I caught that gun case, I wasn't scared of it, but it hit me like I'm really going to have to sit down if this goes south. And I didn't want to do that. I don't want to lose my time to some bullshit. At the same time, I'm seeing homies pass away. I gotta do something positive." That's when the rap came about. Literally within 6 months, my was moving because I really just sat down and started writing. Over the course of the next year, Roddy would record tracks and put out his debut mixtape, Feed the Streets, on SoundCloud in November of 2017. This tape included songs like Chase the Bag, Hood Rich, and F It Up. However, once again, Roddy would have a run-in with the law and spend another couple weeks in the county jail. This time around, some of the other inmates were actually telling him they knew his music and were vibing. After doing his time, Roddy would once again leave county ready to put in work. With friends who knew he clearly had talent and a fire burning, it wouldn't be long before Roddy would really make a name for himself in the industry. The industry's tracks, it was what he rapped about that really caught the attention of the people. I don't know, but I could make a song in probably like 25 to 30 minutes, and it'd be a real song. So I could do like 5 to 6 in a night. People be like, damn, he could really knock out songs. And that'd be the amazing part. But then what I'm saying, I really live that shit. Seriously, so it's a whole different feel. You really feel the emotion and the shit behind what I be saying. And it seems his goal with the music is just that, to get his story across. Roddy doesn't seem too interested in the fame aspect of the rap game.
I'm real humble, so that don't bother me that I'm not a superstar.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not on the main line. It don't bother me. I don't really care about it because I don't do it for that.
Right.
I do it because it's my way to get away from the problems in my life.
Roddy's sound would catch the attention of notable rappers such as Nipsey Hussle, Vince Staples, and of course Meek Mill. In March of 2018, Roddy would be brought out by Nipsey Hussle to perform at Powerhouse in LA and would release his EP Before the Fame. But it seems a single from Roddy would grab the attention of the world thanks to some help from one of his influences. Yeah, a video of Meek Mill dancing and singing along to Die Young while holding a baby goat appears to be the moment that Roddy's career really reached the next level. The song itself would be Roddy's first to reach the charts and would eventually go platinum. However, even with the success of the song, Roddy still had to deal with tragedy. Prior to the track's success, Roddy was talking to his friend in jail, telling Rolling Stone about the conversation they had. I quote him saying, "Bro, when you get out, I'm gonna have a plan. We're gonna get some money. I'm gonna do this rap. At the time, I'm broke, he's in jail, I'm just telling him this is my plan." When he got out, he came to the Die Young release shit. He died 3 weeks after, 4 weeks after. Now, although he doesn't speak much about the passing of his friend, he described it as, I quote, "a high-speed chase," and says, I quote, "that moment made me feel like life is a test. Life is always going to be positive and negative. My whole life changed positively and negatively." In September of that year, Meek would gift Roddy a Dream Chasers chain backstage at Powerhouse in Philly, leading to speculation that Roddy was signing a deal with them. It turns out the two have more of a management deal than a record deal, but still, this would prove to be a wise choice for Roddy. In November of 2018, Feed the Streets 2 would drop, and Roddy would continue rising as a star. While making a name for himself, Roddy would link up with the likes of Marshmello, Gunna, and a Boogie to create tracks that would again reach platinum, with the exception of his track with Boogie, which would be certified gold. He would also jump on racks in the middle with Nipsey, which would be Hustle's last single before being shot. The song would go on to be nominated for Best Rap Song and Best Rap Performance, winning the latter. Speaking on this, Roddy said, I quote, "I got a portrait of Nipsey at my house, bro. I got to put a platinum plaque by that, and my brother is not here to share that with me. That's his first platinum single. We did that together. That hurt me. But at the same time, that's life." It's clear he saw Nipsey as family, something Roddy knows doesn't just mean blood.
Family is the most important thing, whether it's blood or loyalty. There's two different types of family. There's loyalty family, there's bloodline family. That's something I really hold really like high.
Yeah.
And I respect a man who definitely holds his position down for the people who are around him.
As we know, Roddy would go on to release a few singles before officially dropping his studio album, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. Big Stepper, Start With Me, and Tiptoe would all drop, giving a preview of what was to come until December. Even though he released The Box as a single after it appeared on the album, Roddy was still able to get the top spot on the charts, even though he was going against some serious competition. Justin Bieber's Yummy dropped around the same time, and Biebs, in a now deleted tweet, actually encouraged fans to get a VPN, set it to the US, and stream his song while they sleep. Obviously, Roddy, not being one for the accolades, saw this as an opportunity to have some fun, so he tweeted out, "Stream Yummy by Justin Bieber." As we know, it wasn't enough, as Roddy would still maintain the top spot. The fact that The Box became a popular, memeable TikTok song also didn't hurt, but one thing is for sure, Roddy had an undeniable talent, and it was only a matter of time until he made it big. 2020 has already been a huge year for Roddy, even with the pandemic, jumping on tracks with an Ali Choppa, a Boogie, and a Baby, with the latter's most recent track, Rockstar, once again becoming a TikTok song and a huge hit. As for the rest of the story, well, we're gonna have to wait and see how this one plays out. It seems Roddy has a big future ahead of him, but rap isn't the only thing he's got his eyes on. Although he plans on buying property and getting into different types of business, he also wants to enjoy life a little.
Selfishly, I want to just take more time out for myself. You know, I lost so many people within this last decade.
Of course, with the birth of his first child in April, I feel like he's gonna have his hands tied even when he finds time for himself. Now that does it for this one, guys. As always, feel free to let us know who we should cover next in the comments down below. I've been your host for this one, Jared Bronstein, and we'll see you guys in the next one.